Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is, well, we aren't actually sure what it is. Some developer quotes suggest that the game is going to be more of a shooter than an action game, and the game is being described as a genre-bending action shooter. I've got a whole video on that if you want to go check that out. I'll leave it linked at the end of this video. But at the end of the day, the game is going to be us taking control of our favorite Suicide Squad members in an attempt to kill the Justice League in some form or fashion. One of the most important parts about these licensed games, whether it's an anime game or a superhero game or a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game or whatever, is the ability for us to take control of those characters we know and love. And Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League seems to be off to a pretty good start with that. We've got characters like Harley Quinn, who at this point is a mascot for DC, Deadshot, a character with a rich history with the Suicide Squad, King Shark, a character rapidly rising in popularity thanks to the Harley Quinn animated series, and will likely continue to grow in popularity thanks to the second Suicide Squad movie. Captain Boomerang at this point is a staple of the Suicide Squad roster, so it makes sense for him to be there, and they're doing interesting thematic things with that character this time around to make him more appealing to people who otherwise wouldn't be interested in the character. And as fun as it is to think about potential characters to join the Suicide Squad roster, specifically in the Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League game, I hate to even consider such a thought, but I think that there's a good chance that this roster right here, the roster on your screen, these 4 people, might be our only characters that are going to be in the game, at least at launch. We might get additional characters after launch, but for now, I think this might be it. To be clear, the game is not releasing until 2022, so even if I'm correct about this suspicion, there's still plenty of time for the behind-the-scenes plans to change. But I was recently reading through a bunch of quotes from developers for different videos that I was working on, and I noticed something that kind of stood out to me, something potentially quite damning when it comes to the roster size for Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. While talking about this game compared to the Arkham series, Sefton Hill talked about building the world of Metropolis. Specifically, his quote was, "One thing we're really excited about was to bring Metropolis to life." Metropolis itself is really the 5th character in the game. He continues to talk about how they did the same for the Arkham series and Gotham City, and that they've really made Metropolis with a great amount of details, something that would be impossible in other forms of media. But the part that I want to focus on is that really short part of the quote. Metropolis is the 5th character. Obviously, Sefton Hill is speaking metaphorically here. Obviously, Metropolis is not like a character you can select on the screen, but if Metropolis is the metaphorical 5th character of the game, that would seem to imply that there is no actual 5th character. We know that the game's going to be a 1 to 4 player co-op game, but I don't know about you, I was expecting at least a couple more characters to complement the 4 that we currently have. It's possible that Sefton Hill didn't recognize the implication of the statement, and it might very well be the case that the team over at Rocksteady has more characters than just these 4 up their sleeves. But if one wanted to be more secretive about the potential characters and the potential roster size, I don't think they would say what Sefton Hill said. I think you would say something more like Metropolis is essentially another cast member, or Metropolis is in many ways another character players will come to know and experience in this game, or something like that, right? It's also possible that because the game is a 1 to 4 player co-op game, that when Sefton Hill specifically referred to Metropolis being the 5th character, it was because regardless of how many playable characters there are, you will always have 4 characters on any given team, and as a result, Metropolis would be the 5th character because it's a 1 to 4 player co-op game. You're never going to have more than 4 characters on any given team. It's still certainly early days. Like I said, the game releases in 2022, and I'm not trying to say one way or the other whether this is the case, whether we're going to get more characters or whether we're not going to get more characters, but I just wanted to throw out this piece of caution while I can. Don't be surprised if Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League launches with just 4 playable characters and nobody else. I hope that isn't the case, but it's certainly a realistic possibility, and I just want you to keep that in mind to prevent getting your expectations too high. Sorry to be a bit of a downer here, but like I said, I think it's important to manage those expectations. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to leave a like. It helps other people find it. It helps it in the algorithm and all that good stuff. And if you're new around here, subscribing also does the same, so I'd very much appreciate that as well. My name is Bilbsy, and I'll be sure to catch you in the next video.